Hi, welcome to Cammy's in the Kitchen. Today I have my sister Kristi. She's here instead of me at her house. So she came up to visit from Utah, and we're gonna make.
When I visit Cammy, I have to be in the kitchen.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
Here we are.
So now no one's gonna come visit me anymore. So it's gonna be like, oh dear, if we visit, we have to be in the kitchen. Anyway, but today we are making our favorite. We're actually going to be making a couple of her recipes for Thanksgiving.
This is one of my favorite recipes, and it came from my very good friend, Kristi when we both lived in Illinois. And I've dragged it all over the country and brought it back to my family, and it's one of our favorite Thanksgiving traditions.
And it's so good, like sweet potatoes, because I'm sure there are people that like sweet potatoes, whatever. If you're healthy, you probably like them. But this is the way I like them, with butter and brown sugar and all sorts of good stuff. So anyway, we're going to be making this, and we're going to show you how you need this at your Thanksgiving dinner. You can practice. We'll put it on. Never mind.
We'll put it on at some point before Thanksgiving. So you can use it for your dinner if you want.
Yes. All right.
I promise you're going to love it.
Yes. So we went and bought sweet potatoes and just baked them, right?
Yeah, so just kind of on a tray, we just put foil on a baking tray, on a cookie sheet.
Side note, let's do a little side note right now. Side note, we baked them in the top oven because my bottom oven doesn't work. So the bottom oven, let's see, how did we first know it didn't work? It wouldn't heat up. It took an hour to get up to temperature. And then we look in and we're like, it's like a fire coming out of there. So we look it up and it's like, you need a new igniter. So I couldn't get a repairman to come because it's an LG and they don't like them. We ordered the part. My husband was putting it in, and it's tiny because it's a half oven because it's a double oven. And so he's like doing these like contortions in trying to get the part in, and all of a sudden he's like, ow, ow. And I'm like, what's wrong? My ribs. So by last night, he couldn't walk. And was in so much pain. Today we were at the doctor. He's done some kind of muscle ligament pull, inflamed something. So they gave him a couple shots. And my oven still doesn't work because the igniter works, but now the fan doesn't work because I think the fan was broken, which is why flames were coming out of the oven. And you don't really want flames cooking your food.
But the top oven works.
The top oven works.
The top oven.
Baked these in the top oven. Put them on a cookie sheet with like your foil so they don't,
we baked them at 350 for about an hour to an hour and a half until they're soft. We did 4 pretty large sweet potatoes. I think that's probably a little bit more than we needed for one batch. So we're just going to do this third one. I always double this for Thanksgiving. We're not doubling it today, but for Thanksgiving, I always double it. Sometimes I quadruple it just because this is a favorite side dish. So
and poke your potato like you would a baked potato or something. Poke it with a fork so it doesn't explode.
Exactly.
Because exploding if I had done it in the lower with the flames and exploding yams,
we would have maybe had the fire department here.
What is the difference between a yam and a sweet potato? What is the difference?
There is a difference. I'm not really sure.
Sweet potato growers. I would like to know the difference between a yam and a sweet potato.
A sweet potato is a little bit.
We'll look it up. Again, we'll look it up. We'll let you know. We'll figure it out. That's what we do at Cammy's in the Kitchen.
That's right.
We help you.
Exactly. And they're done when you start to see like the seeping out of the sweet potato out on the foil. So then you can kind of tell. I usually cut one open and see how soft it is. It should be soft enough that when you cut your potato open, and I just put them on that tray, bake them, and then I just leave the oven on. I just scrape it out of the peel, put it into the measuring cup. You want 3 cups of baked sweet potato. So this should be just about perfect.
I mean, the only food my kids ever ate out of a jar was sweet potatoes or pudding.
They smell delicious. I wish you could smell them right now because it is so Thanksgiving. This is way better than that marshmallow one too, by the way.
Oh yeah, don't do that. It's not worth it.
Yeah. This one is fantastically good.
I mean, maybe it is worth it to you. That's fine. If you like
and some people do love that one. So, who are we to say no? All right, this looks like it's about 3, so we're gonna just put the 3 cups of baked sweet potato in here. And then we're gonna add 2 eggs, which I've already cracked. I'm gonna put those in there. A half a cup of sugar. Okay, a teaspoon of vanilla.
Crack your
Oops, vanilla's brand new.
Oh, wait, I have.
Do you have an old one?
I have not new.
Okay, she has the not new one.
Not new vanilla.
Okay, and then we're gonna do a 1/4 cup of butter that's melted. Okay, and then make sure that's all in. A teaspoon of vanilla. I just do about a capful.
As we've learned at Cammy's in the Kitchen, a capful is a teaspoon.
That's what I always learned. Mom must have taught us that.
I guess so.
Because that's what I did too. Okay, and then I have to figure out how to use your mixer. Okay, there. It's way too high tech for me. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, so we're mixing this up. Okay, and it's just going to be this yumminess.
So I'm at the fireworks and the football game's going on, and they're killing the other team. So every time they score, they send off a firework because it's the final game of the season. The fireworks go off, and they're like ahead by like 50 points. And so we've had fireworks on, and our dog just farts every time it goes off.
You can do this in a KitchenAid if you want, or it just was easier to use the hand mixer than move the KitchenAid over here. So here's your hand mixer, and it totally works out. So you want to make sure that it's like all whipped up and kind of fluffy. Looks good. Okay, and then we're gonna put this in our pan. This is good for like a 8x8, 9x9 size. Like I said,
So what do you do when you bring it for Thanksgiving to us?
So I quadruple it. I make 2 9x13 pans, which means I do about 12 sweet potatoes.
And it's really cute because she has a pumpkin.
I know, I should have brought my pumpkin dish.
It's like this pumpkin dish. And
It's
so,
really cool.
Yeah, it's like the shape of a pumpkin, and it's adorable.
cute.
And that's what she always puts it in for.
Yeah.
This is always her side.
But we're just doing a 1 batch tonight to show.
It's not Thanksgiving.
Oh, since it's not Thanksgiving, but we get a little pre-Thanksgiving treat. All right, so it looks like that. Now we're going to make the topping. This is what makes it so delicioso. So we are going to soften this butter just a little bit.
Do you want me to soften it?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be completely melted.
Tripping.
But
Our kitchen has
if you wanna
become
put that
a
in
death
there.
trap this week.
Yeah, so put that in there. Just soften it a little bit, and then we're gonna add. Some
I didn't want to touch
brown
it.
sugar. So we got a cup of brown sugar and 1/3 cup of flour. And then we're gonna just soften that. And you know what I like? I like to add a little bit of cinnamon. Do you have cinnamon? The recipe doesn't call for cinnamon, but I think it's really good with just a tiny bit of cinnamon. You could even add a little nutmeg, but I just like it. It's very fall tasty. And add that little bit of cinnamon. Or we can just pretend like we're using cinnamon.
I guess.
But I do put a little bit of cinnamon in. Never mind, I didn't give her a heads up on the cinnamon.
Got it. Got this.
I just sprinkle some cinnamon in. All right, it smells so good when it's baking in the oven. It is Thanksgiving in a dish right there.
I mean, that and our other dish we're going to make for Thanksgiving, which is the cranberry relish.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you don't need anything.
Right. You don't. All right, so we're going to put our butter in. That's going to moisten this, and we're going to put it on the top.
There might still be a little bit of paper.
Oh, that would not be good.
What is that?
Not appetizing to have paper in there. I'm not sure it's good. We're going to call it good. Because you're not eating it, so it doesn't matter. If there's a little paper in it, it's okay. It's not going to be in your dinner. Because you will make sure you get all the paper out. Okay, so then we just kind of...
It's like a streusel topping.
Mm-hmm. I just use a fork. Actually, the best thing to do is use your hands. And I did just wash my hands, so I'm just going to use my hands.
So there you go.
It just... Yeah, it's great because then it just mixes all together in a little crumble.
Sha-na-na-na-na.
And then we're going to sprinkle that on the top.
See, I get these songs and now I'm like,
Oh, okay. She spent some time in the ER today, so with her husband, who's a trooper.
Who's asked to explain now what happened.
And he's now videotaping us. Okay, he's in the kitchen.
In the oven.
All right, so this is like a good crumbly consistency, and we're just gonna crumble that over the top. And it's gonna be so good.
Okay, yum. Oh, yeah. So we should
Yeah.
add cinnamon. When we put the recipe on, let's add cinnamon. I say we make it our own. Then we make it our own.
Yeah, I do just sprinkle a little bit, not, maybe even a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of cinnamon. It's not that much, but it's just enough that it adds a little extra good flavor
I mean,
to it.
It seems to
It
mesh
does
really
go
well.
It does go well. All right, so we're gonna pour the rest of this on there, and then we're gonna stick it in the oven. So in the meantime, your oven is preheated to 350, and we're gonna bake that. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands.
No flames coming out of it.
We're gonna bake that for, I don't remember how long.
We'll tell you.
Let me look
Now
at my
remember,
phone and tell
okay, you're
you.
gonna want the time longer, right? If you do like a bigger pan.
Yeah, so this is for an 8x8 or a 9x9 pan. You're gonna want to do it for, well, let me see. My hand is too wet. Pull up the
phone's
phone.
not working. Phone's not working. Oh shoot. Okay.
It's my hand's too wet. It won't open.
We are going to bake at 350. You don't have a time. Oh, 30 minutes.
I do.
30
Yeah,
minutes.
I was thinking it was 30. I just wanted to
Okay.
be sure. So
30
yeah,
minutes.
30 minutes it'll bake, and then comes out of the oven. It's gonna smell amazing. So this is something I actually do the night before. I'll do everything the night before, put it in the fridge, and then
bake it.
when it's cold, it needs to bake an extra 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll put it in about 40 to 45 minutes before dinner. Stick that in, it comes out hot and delicious, and you've already done the hard work ahead of time. So it's just easy peasy. All right, so we'll come back when it's out of the oven and show you how lovely it is.
Okay, our sweet potato souffle. It baked. It actually in the top oven. It took
The
longer.
only oven working right now.
The only working oven took a little longer, so it was probably in for 45.
Yeah, yeah. And if you made it the night before and you put it in that day for Thanksgiving dinner, it's going to take about 40 to 45 minutes to cook if it's cold. This one wasn't even cold. It took about 40 minutes, but that's because the oven might
The
be
top
having
oven.
an issue.
Maybe. Oh, if the igniter goes out, we're just buying a new oven.
You might be getting a new oven for Christmas.
I
Or
think
before.
for the physical therapy and the doctor's appointments, I could have a new oven.
Exactly.
Anyway, okay. So here it is. It's look at this crunchy. It's like
Got this
bubbly,
delicious,
crispy
like, brown
top.
sugar butter top.
Uh-huh.
And so then it is the favorite side dish. It's like right out of the oven too. But it's delicious. You could almost put whipped cream on it. It's almost
A dessert. I know you can't really call it a veggie,
But that's a great side dish for your turkey and mashed potatoes and your salad or green beans or whatever else you have. It's awesome.
you don't need salad and green beans at Thanksgiving. Who eats it? Eat rolls.
Well,
eat the
everyone
turkey.
makes the green bean onion thing.
I
We
know.
don't.
Oh, we don't.
But a lot of people do. So anyway,
Okay.
it's great with whatever you have for Thanksgiving. I think you'll love it.
Whatever you love.
That's right. Sweet potato souffle. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.